The real fans of Karakuri have been waiting for this, me included, and expect buyouts to be immense with this. So probably market watch Wednesday morning as we look at the aftermath on Karakuri buyouts. Can't wait for that. So Karakuri Monk MD 9763 Kuman Suzan. So level 5, 2015. Okay, so if this card is in your hand, you can target one Karakuri monster you control, change its battle position, and if you do special summon this card, it becomes treated as a tuner. Also, you can not special summon monsters for this turn except for Earth Machine. Don't mind if I do. Must attack if able, and if this card is selected as an attack target, change its battle position. Okay, so Karakuri's now got extenders that we didn't need. Oh man, and it's level 5, so this plus the level 3 guy equals Burrito. Ooh, Daddy likes that. That's really good. Next up, we have Karakuri Toad. Why do they have a toad? Model 4624, Shiro Kunushi. So it's 201,000. You can only use this card's third name once per turn. So must attack if able. This card is selected as an attack target, switches battle position. Quick effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target one Karakuri monster you control. Change its battle position. Okay. The draw effects on the good cards, though, are once per turn, so I guess there's that. Now, this makes or breaks it. So this is Karakuri Daigoganin, model 00X Brave. So it is one tuner plus one or more non-tuner machine. Oh my, it's generic. Okay, so if this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon one Karakuri monster from your deck. So much like Burrito and Burry, this will continue to extend your plays. Defense position monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. I'm almost surprised it didn't allow them to attack from defense mode. Once per turn, if the battle position of a face-up Karakuri monster you control is changed, you can target one card your opponent controls and banish it. So, at the end of the loop, you're going Burrito, Burrito, Burrito. You can make this, actually, at the end of the combo, I believe. But the problem is you're triggering all of your draw effects. So, while this is great for being a level 9, being able to just banish something that the opponent controls doesn't seem that great. But being able to synchro summon this, continue on with your plays, that in itself is good. Ooh, is this a Karakuri Toad Oil? Okay. So you can activate one card with this card's name once per turn. Activate this card by targeting one Karakuri monster in your graveyard. Special summon it if you do equip it with this card. Once per turn, if the battle position of a face-up Karakuri monster you control is changed, the equipped monster gains 500 attack and defense. Huh, and that's a permanent buff, too. That's kind of interesting. I don't know, if we've learned our lesson, most Karakuri spells and traps aren't even that good in the general sense of what they could be. I don't know, let's read the last one here and see if it's actually good. Karakuri Cash Lodge. So you can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn, and it's not a counter trap. So you can target one Karakuri monster you control, and one effect monster your opponent controls. Change the battle position of your targeted monster, and if you do, negate the effects of the opponent's targeted monster until the end of the turn. If you control a Karakuri monster, you can banish this card from a graveyard, target one face-up monster, change its battle position. This is okay in alright. Being able to chain and negate something is pretty alright. Outside of that, like, this is pretty passive for what it is. Outside of that, like, this card's good. The Monk extending the plays of the deck, and the level 9 continuing to extend on plays. I'm intrigued by this. Most machine degenerate decks are going to eat this support up and smile at the end of the day. So overall, I'm not too excited for this. I was hoping that there would be more here than there actually is, but can't be too disappointed with it. I'm sure when lines like this and Karakuri go together, there will be something broken here. Now, we have the Ignister monsters. They are finally here, and this is a tribute to Ai's fallen comrades. And if you guys haven't been watching, the Ignisters are Ai's archetype. They are his basically fallen compatriots in battle, and it's kind of sad because, like, this whole backstory, like, his whole deck is based on his friends, so it's definitely interesting. So the first one here is Karakuri Ignister, and so 200, 600. So you can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. So on normal or special summon, You have to add a eye spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. And then you can target one Ignister monster you control. Its level becomes 4 until the end of the turn. So when you're playing through the more little level ones, this one will at least allow you to reconfigure them so you can make the Xyz plays that your deck is actually going to need to be able to survive. Because if you're not able to make those key plays, I mean, your deck's going to fall on its butt. And then we've got the wind one. Buru Ignister. So 600, 1000. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Ignister monster from your deck to the graveyard. So we have a built-in Foolish Barrel right out of the floodgate. That's really good. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for a Cyber Synchro monster, target one monster in your graveyard that was used as material, except for Buru, and special summon it. So this is our tuner, which is interesting enough. I'm curious to see what kind of extenders they're going to grant to this deck, because we already have our Stratos. We've already got our our tuner. All right. Doyon Ignister. So normal or special, you can target one Ignister monster in your graveyard and add it back to our hand. So this further recurs for our stuff. So we have the tuner that recurs. We have this that recurs. And if this card is sent to the graveyard for a Cyber Slink monster, you can target one eye spell and trap card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. I'm actually really hoping that we get something severely broken with this, because all those recursions are really good. Arichi Ignister. Normal or special, you can add one level 4 lower Ignister monster from your deck to your hand. So this one searches for the monster, which is level 4 lower, and then we have the one that actually searches for the spells and traps with I in their name. Okay. Then we have Doshin Ignister. If you control an Ignister monster, you can special summon this from our hand. So this is our extender. You can only do this once per turn, of course. You can target a Cyber Slink monster in your graveyard, return it to your extra deck, and if you do, you get to add one I Love Fusion from your deck to your hand. I'm actually curious to know how this is going to run on paper, because that's interesting. And then we got the Hayori Ignister. So if you control an Ignister monster, you get special summon this from our hand. Alright, these extenders are good. Then you contribute one other Cyber's monster to add one level 5 or higher Ignister monster from your deck to your hand. Also, this card becomes level 4 till the end of the turn. Then if you attributed a Link monster to activate this effect, you get to recur for the Eye's Ritual from your deck as well. So extenders. This deck, it seems like it wants Soul Charge. Alright, our big Water Leviathan Ignister. So you can Ritual Summon this card with Eye's Ritual. This card is Ritual Summon to return all monsters your opponent controls with 2300 or less attack to the hand. Okay, so it's a global bounce for little things. You can target one face of monster your opponent controls. Return as many Link monsters as possible from your graveyard to the extra deck. And if you do that, target's attack becomes 0. Okay. And then once per damage step, this card battles opponent's monster. You can have that opponent's monster's attack during the damage calculation only. So this, though it can't out big monsters, it does have the ability to do so. Okay. Then, ladies and gentlemen, is that a one Cyber's monster plus one Link monster? Hello, Super Poly. So, you take no damage for the rest of this turn after this card was fusion summoned. Alright, that's broken. If this card attacks a monster, special summon from the extra deck, it gains attack equal to the original attack, dealing damage. This card's broken. This card is destroyed by battle. You can target one Cyber's monster in your graveyard except for Earth Golem and special summon it. Alright. Dex will be packing that in. That's good. The Wind Pegasus Ignister, one tuner plus one or more non-tuner. Oh boy, it's generic. Alright, we're off to a good start here. During your main phase, you destroy any number of spells and traps your opponent controls up to the number of Ignister monsters you control. If this card is on your field or in your graveyard, and another card is destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect, and banish this card, target one card your opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. That's really good. Alright, Ignister Island. If you control the monster in your main monster zone, special summon one level 4 lower Ignister from your hand. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon another monster with the same attribute with the effect of Ignister Island. Okay. Interesting. And you can do that as many times as you want. Okay. This card is in your graveyard. Banish one Ignister from your graveyard to set this card. This deck seems like it's got a lot of potential here. The I Die Reborn. I like that pun. So you can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. Okay. So you can target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you're not special summon monsters except for Cybers. During attack declaration in battle between two monsters, you can banish this card, and one card from your hand, target one Ice Will Trap card in your graveyard among your banished cards, except for I Die Reborn, add it back to your hand. Alright. I Love Fusion. Okay. Fusion summon 1 Cyber's fusion monster from your extract using monsters you control or have in your hand as material. If you're using an Ignister monster or monsters as material, you can also use 1 link monster your opponent controls as material. Okay. Then we have Eyes Ritual. I love this art. So you contribute Ignister monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal or exceed the level of the monster you ritual summon, then ritual summon 1 Cyber's ritual monster from your hand. If you control an Ignister monster, when you activate this effect, you can banish Ignister monsters from your graveyard instead of tributing. That's really good, actually, for the M-House archetype. So, final thoughts on this. This archetype seems really good. Earth Golem is bonkers, actually. I'm super poly, here we come. So that the archetype, it's got a lot of good recursion. I'm curious to see where this is going to go on paper. But what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And, well, catch you guys on the flip side. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vancold40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.